This 23rd of September, an alignment of stars and planets will occur that many are saying will be the fulfillment of a passage of scripture described in the book of Revelation. There are already videos on YouTube suggesting that this sign marks the date of the rapture, the start of the tribulation, or even the end of the world. In this video, I will expose the dishonest tactics of these false YouTube prophets and teachers. I'm training to be an end-time survivor. I'm trying to listen to God so that I can learn the lessons that I need to live in harmony with His will. The 23rd of September has once again become a date of great interest for people interested in Bible prophecies, the revelation, and topics related to the end of the world. This year, there will be a formation of stars and planets that will supposedly provide a literal fulfillment of a passage from chapter 12 of the book of Revelation. There are already quite a number of videos on YouTube about this, and many people don't know what's going to happen or what its significance could be. Others are speculating that this day will mark or could mark the date of the rapture, the collision of meteorites against the earth, the start of the Great Tribulation, or the manifestation of the Antichrist. There is a crucial component that practically all the other channels are losing sight of. I hope you pay attention to this video, because in it I'm going to share what this is to help you avoid being deceived by the many false prophets and conspiracy opportunists that abound on YouTube. Since they do not pay attention to this crucial component, they are unable to properly understand the message of the revelation. But first, let's talk about the 23rd of September 2017, the great constellation that will appear in the sky on that date and its connection with the book of Revelation. Revelation 12 verses 1 to 2 say, "Now a great sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet, and on her head a garland of 12 stars. Then being with child, she cried out in labor and in pain to give birth." Now many people on YouTube are showing this image and saying that it is the literal fulfillment of this passage from Revelation 12. But the truth is that this alignment of planets and stars does not fulfill the details of the text in Revelation 12. It's not a unique event, and additionally, it does not fit in with the rest of the passage of Revelation 12. Now, I don't have time in this video to show you all the details regarding the stars and constellations that form part of this supposed sign of Revelation 12. The summary of it is that there will be no visible sign in the sky the 23rd of September 2017, that Virgo will not actually be clothed with the sun, and neither will the woman be in pain to give birth that day as the Revelation 12 text describes. I repeat, the supposed sign that these YouTubers are promoting is simply not the fulfillment of Revelation 12. If you want to go deeper into these issues and gain a better understanding of the finer details on the matter, subscribe to the channel and make sure you watch that other video on the topic. But I want to speak to you here about the dishonest tactics that these YouTubers are using. It's important that you understand these points, because once the 23rd of September 2017 has passed, these people will go in search of another sign and another conspiracy to draw attention to themselves once again. You need to know how to discern between false prophets and true Christians, and I assure you that it's not through the typical ways that most people teach. We have a video that talks about the 5 signs of a false prophet or teacher, and if you haven't seen it, I really recommend that you do, because it shows spiritual principles that can be applied to anyone. But let's get back to the supposed sign on the 23rd of September 2017. Some are saying that this sign marks or could mark the rapture of the church, the time when Jesus will return to carry away the faithful, and when all the Christians that have ever lived will be resurrected. Whether you believe that the rapture will happen before or after the Great Tribulation, the Bible is clear that it cannot happen until certain events have taken place. In 2 Thessalonians verses 1 to 5, Paul clearly says to us that the return of Jesus and our gathering unto Him cannot occur until events such as the great apostasy and the manifestation of the Antichrist have occurred. Now, without a doubt, the part about the apostasy is being fulfilled as we live and breathe, as evidenced by all the hypocrisy and false teachings and practices of the supposed churches of today. but we still have not seen the manifestation of the Antichrist in the way that Paul says that he will be manifested. Paul says that the Antichrist will seat himself in the temple of God, passing himself off as God, and that he is going to be opposed to and will rise up against anything that is called God or worshipped as a god. This is something that has not yet happened, no matter how much some YouTubers try to interpret certain events to say that it has. For this prophecy to be fulfilled, the Jews have to first rebuild their temple, something that they've been planning to do for years and that will fulfill many other prophecies in the Bible. So there won't be a rapture on the 23rd of September 2017. But the YouTube prophets are careful in wording things vaguely enough that they let you decide what will happen that day. They say things like, I'm not saying it will happen that day, but I'm saying that it could happen that day. And that's pretty much the approach they take when insinuating that a particular date, like the 23rd of September, could mark prophetic events like the start of the Great Tribulation, the manifestation of the Antichrist, or even the end of the world. Of course, pretty much any event could happen any day, but the whole point of them focusing on this special day and this special sign is to at least imply that something big or significant other than the sign is going to happen. So let me give you a few tips that you can use to identify people who are trying to manipulate and deceive you. Beware of those who trade in fear. They are the YouTubers that focus on mysteries, ghosts, extraterrestrials, and things of that nature that only serve to generate fear and insecurity. None of these YouTubers are trying to help you spiritually. The only thing they want is to gain more views on YouTube to generate more personal revenue through advertising placed on their videos. Similar to them are YouTubers that focus on all conspiracy theories one after the other. Theories such as the New World Order, the Illuminati, Masons, Flat Earth, and similar things. All of these theories may have some elements of truth in them, and you may even find them insightful, but if you pay careful attention, you will see that they never lead you anywhere but going around in circles. This is because they only offer you some kind of intellectual knowledge that doesn't affect your day-to-day life in any way. They always focus on the problem and the fact that the elite are governing and deceiving us, but they never offer you a practical solution to apply in your life. And even more than that, they themselves continue to work in the very system that they condemn. And the reason for that is because they still believe that the only way they can survive in this world is by working in the system in exchange for money. None of them are going to teach you what Jesus commanded. Don't waste your time on these videos and channels. You don't need to learn all the details about the people who rule the world. The Bible has already made it clear that it's the devil who governs the world. And it's for that very reason that Jesus calls us to leave the values of the system and to live subject to the values of the kingdom of God. What you most need to learn is how to follow Christ. Neither should you trust all these supposed Christian channels, especially any channel that has told you that the rapture or Great Tribulation will happen on the 23rd of September this year, or even if they've just implied heavily that these significant events could happen. Once September 23rd has come and gone, do yourself a favor and give these channels a rest. If you pay attention to the videos of these supposed Christian teachers, you will see that they do not teach you to obey Christ. Many actually go so far as to actively teach that we don't need to obey Jesus because his teachings were supposedly only for the Jews of his time, and that it was actually Paul who brought the true gospel. But that's a total lie. Don't be deceived. And there are serious warnings in the Bible against those people that look at the stars and planets to try to predict the future. Listen to what Isaiah has to say about this. You are wearied in the multitude of your counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, and the monthly prognosticators stand up and save you from what shall come upon you. Behold, they shall be as stubble, the fire shall burn them, they shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. These people don't sincerely listen to Jesus' message. Instead, they go off in search of verses and events that support their own pet theories. And now I come to the crucial component that all these YouTubers lose sight of, and that is that the book of Revelation is not for everyone. The first verse of the Revelation says, "The revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave him to show his servants things which must shortly take place. And he sent and signified it by his angel to his servant John. Note that this is a revelation of Jesus Christ, a revelation from him to manifest to his servants things that will happen. And that is the point that is lost in all of this. The book of Revelation is for the servants of Jesus, people who are working for him right now. It's not for the purpose of concocting conspiracy theories, nor is it even for theologians and people who merely attend a church. It's for people that genuinely serve Jesus. It's for his disciples. Let's go back to that passage in Revelation 12. The proponents of this supposed sign in the stars only share with you the first couple of verses of chapter 12, but there are many more in that chapter. It speaks of people who have defeated the devil through the sacrifice of Jesus by not loving their own lives unto death. It speaks of people that keep the commandments of God and the testimony of Jesus Christ. Those are the true Christians. And those are the ones who are persecuted by the system. Now, many people on YouTube spend hours and hours going from one video to another and never arriving at the truth, and yet believing they already have it. Look, if you really want to deepen your relationship with God and not be deceived by all the charlatans on YouTube, you have to focus on the message and the example of Jesus. He is the only one who has the truth. Anyone that is not living in harmony with what Jesus teaches is mistaken, and they're going to lead you up a wrong path. And if you really want to know if somebody is following Jesus or not, you have to make sure that you know what Jesus taught and that you are actually living it yourself. It's for that reason that on this channel we bring everything back to Jesus' message. If you have a genuine interest in knowing the truth and deepening your understanding of the teachings of Jesus, then we recommend that you reread the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, for they are the key to really understanding the message of the revelation. And make sure you subscribe to our channel, because we're going to try to keep uploading videos that expose the lies and the false prophets and teachers in both the religious system and outside of it, as well as videos that will encourage and challenge you to live in harmony with the teachings of Jesus. What do you think about this topic of the 23rd of September? Do you believe that this day will indicate something important in terms of our relationship with God? Or do you think it's just one more deception? Another distraction to put more distance between us and the true message of Jesus and his teachings? You can join us on our forum where we're discussing end-time issues. And for more details on the September 23rd sign, make sure you watch that other video on the topic. I'll just leave you with a quote from Jeremiah. Do not learn the ways of the Gentiles. Do not be dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the Gentiles are dismayed at them, for the customs of the peoples are futile. Time is short. Let's make the most of it.